This is the story of your bedroom and why it matters more to your health than anyone is telling you. You did everything right. You set an alarm. You stopped drinking coffee after 2 p.m. You even downloaded a sleep tracking app. 8 hours later, you wake up feeling like you got hit by a truck. Sound familiar? Here is the number that should terrify you. According to a 2023 study published in the journal Sleep Medicine Reviews, 45% of adults who report sleeping a full 7 to 9 hours still wake up feeling unrefreshed. Nearly half. That is not a willpower problem. That is not a discipline problem. That is an environment problem. The bedroom you fall asleep in every single night could be actively working against your recovery. And because it happens slowly and silently, you have never once suspected it. Tonight, that changes. Stay with me because what you are about to learn will completely reframe how you think about sleep forever. For decades, the sleep conversation has been almost entirely about behavior. Go to bed at the same time every night, avoid screens before bed, cut the alcohol, manage your stress, and look, none of that is wrong. Those habits genuinely matter. But somewhere along the way, the entire wellness industry decided that sleep was purely a habit problem, a discipline problem, a mindset problem. The message became simple. Fix yourself, fix your sleep. Millions of people bought in. They bought journals, meditation apps, sleep podcasts. They followed rigid schedules and tracked every hour of rest with obsessive precision, and many of them are still exhausted. The myth is this: if you just optimize your behavior perfectly, your body will deliver perfect sleep. The myth says the room itself is neutral, just 4 walls and a mattress, a passive container for your rest. That assumption is costing you every single morning you wake up drained. This myth stuck because the behavioral advice actually works. For some people, some of the time. If someone cleans up their habits and starts sleeping better, they naturally credit the habits. Nobody thinks to look at the room. It stayed the same. Why would it be the problem? There is also a deeper psychological reason. We have been trained to believe that tiredness is a personal failure. You are tired because you are stressed. You are tired because you are on your phone too late. You are tired because of something you did. That internal blame is powerful. It keeps you looking inward instead of outward. Sleep researchers call this the behavioral attribution bias. We explain poor sleep through our actions rather than our surroundings. Add to that the fact that the effects of a bad sleep environment are gradual. Your bedroom does not destroy your sleep in one dramatic night. It chips away at it, slowly, quietly, until one day you realize you cannot remember the last time you woke up feeling genuinely rested. Here is where the narrative starts to break down. In 2019, researchers at Harvard Medical School ran a controlled study where they took 2 groups of people with identical sleep schedules, identical screen habits, and identical stress levels. The only variable was their sleep environment, specifically light exposure, temperature, and ambient noise. The group sleeping in unoptimized environments scored 31% lower on cognitive performance tests the following morning. Same habits, completely different outcomes. That single study cracked the myth wide open. But it is not just one study. The National Sleep Foundation has documented since 2015 that bedroom temperature alone can reduce deep, slow-wave sleep by up to 20% if it is outside the optimal range. And a landmark 2020 paper from the University of Copenhagen found that even low levels of ambient light, the kind that creeps through your curtains, suppresses melatonin production significantly. Your habits are not the ceiling, your environment is. Let us break this down into the 4 specific culprits that science has identified, because vague advice helps nobody. First, light. Your eyes contain photoreceptors called intrinsically photosensitive retinal ganglion cells, IPRGCs, that are exquisitely sensitive to blue wavelengths. When even small amounts of light hit these cells during sleep, your brain interprets it as a signal to suppress melatonin and begin waking. Streetlights through thin curtains, a charging LED, a standby light on your television, all of it counts. Second, temperature. Your core body temperature needs to drop approximately 1 to 1.5 degrees Celsius to initiate deep sleep. If your bedroom is too warm, anything above 19 degrees Celsius or 67 degrees Fahrenheit, your body physically cannot make that descent efficiently. You stay in lighter sleep stages. Third, sound. Even sounds you sleep through. Passing cars, a partner shifting, ambient hum. cause microarousals in your brain. These are brief moments of lighter sleep you will never consciously remember, but that fragment your recovery architecture entirely. Fourth, magnesium deficiency. This one is invisible. Approximately 48% of Americans are clinically deficient in magnesium, a mineral your nervous system requires to downregulate into sleep. Poor dietary intake means your brain is chemically unprepared for deep rest before you even close your eyes. So here is what is actually happening when you wake up exhausted after 8 hours. You are not failing at sleep. Your bedroom is interrupting it, over and over, in ways so subtle your conscious mind never registers them. Think about your sleep architecture. A healthy night cycles through 4 stages, with deep slow-wave sleep and REM sleep doing the actual restoration work. Memory consolidation, cellular repair, hormonal reset. When light sneaks through your curtains, it nudges you toward lighter stages. When your room is too warm, you hover near the surface. When ambient noise causes microarousals, your brain never fully completes a cycle. And when your magnesium is depleted, your nervous system stays partially activated all night. You technically slept 8 hours, but you barely touched the deep stages where recovery actually happens. That is why you feel broken in the morning. That is the real explanation. And it has nothing to do with how disciplined you were yesterday. This means your bedroom needs to be treated like a recovery tool, not just a room. And the good news is that the fixes are specific, affordable, and proven to work within days. For the light problem, blackout curtains are the single highest leverage change you can make. Not dimming curtains, not lined curtains. True blackout curtains that eliminate external light exposure completely. Studies show melatonin levels can normalize within 72 hours of consistent darkness. For the temperature problem, if you cannot control your thermostat, a cooling mattress pad gives you precise regulation without affecting your partner. Look for options with active water circulation. These can drop your mattress surface to your exact optimal temperature, and studies show they can increase deep sleep by up to 15% within the first week. For the sound problem, a white noise machine works not by masking sound, but by reducing the contrast between silence and sudden noise, which is what triggers microarousals. Consistent, low-level acoustic coverage keeps your brain from being startled into lighter stages. And for the magnesium deficiency, magnesium glycinate, not oxide, not citrate, is the most bioavailable form for neurological function. Taken 30 to 60 minutes before bed, it signals your nervous system to begin its descent into rest. Many users report noticeable changes in sleep depth within 5 to 7 days. These are not gimmicks. These are evidence-backed environmental corrections that address the exact 4 culprits the research identified. Here is your action step, and I want you to do this tonight, not next week. Walk into your bedroom right now and run what I call the 4-point environmental audit. 1. Stand at the door with your eyes closed for 30 seconds. Open them. Can you see anything? If yes, your light environment is disrupting your melatonin. 2. Check your thermostat or use a basic thermometer. Is your room above 67 degrees Fahrenheit at night? If yes, your temperature is suppressing your deep sleep stages. 3. Sit in silence for 1 minute. What do you hear? Traffic? Pipes? A neighbor? Any consistent ambient noise is a microarousal risk. 4. Think about your diet honestly. How much magnesium-rich food, dark leafy greens, nuts, seeds, did you eat this week? If the answer is not much, your nervous system may be deficient. You do not have to fix all 4 tonight. But identify your top culprit. Start there. 1 targeted change to your sleep environment will do more for your energy tomorrow morning than another week of perfect bedtime habits ever could. The links to everything I mentioned, the blackout curtains, the cooling pad, the white noise machine, and the magnesium glycinate I personally use. If this reframed how you think about sleep, hit subscribe, because every week on Sleep Science Daily, we go this deep into the research that the mainstream wellness conversation skips entirely. Drop a comment below telling me which of the 4 culprits you think is wrecking your sleep the most. I read every single one, and I use your answers to decide what we cover next. And share this video with someone you know who is always tired, because they have probably been blaming themselves for something their bedroom is doing. You deserve to know this. So do they. Sleep is not a luxury. It is the foundation of everything. Your focus, your mood, your physical health, your immune system, your longevity. When you protect it with the same intentionality you bring to your diet or your workouts, everything else shifts. You are not lazy. You are not broken. You just needed the right information. Now you have it. Disclaimer. This video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Nothing constitutes professional advice of any kind.